Our next speaker was Welsh Secretary in the David Cameron government. He was a leading player in the Leave campaign in Wales, and let us not forget that Wales voted Leave. He was also a minister at the Department for Exiting the European Union between 2016 and 2017, so knows better than most exactly what's going on. David Jones.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. And like Jacob, I have to start by saying what a tremendous pleasure it is to be here this evening at this celebration of what I think was the most significant, the most exciting, and the most important political moment of my life. Yes, I was involved in the campaign in Wales, and I remember with great fondness driving back from that sports centre on Deeside in the early hours of that Friday morning, and recalling paradoxically the words of Wordsworth about the French Revolution. Bliss it was in that dawn to be alive. It was a great day, and the fact that so many are here in this hall this evening, I think bears testament to the fact that so many of us are so pleased that the United Kingdom will be leaving the European Union in 2019. But while this is certainly a celebration, I'm here to sound a note of caution. We are now approaching, I believe, the most crucial time in our negotiations to leave the European Union. The vote was some 15 months ago. We triggered Article 50 just over 6 months ago. And according to the timetable that Michel Barnier has set out for these negotiations, we have now some 12 months to go before we arrive at the crucial point where we must have decided upon our future arrangements with Europe. Now, today, some of you may have heard, the European Parliament passed a resolution expressing dismay at the progress of the negotiations, saying that Britain had not made sufficient progress and that therefore it was incumbent upon the negotiators not to take forward any further discussions about our future relationship with the European Union. And hard on the heels of that resolution, Monsieur Jean-Claude Juncker repeated those warnings and said that the United Kingdom really must understand that progress has got to be made before we can have further discussions. Now, neither the European Union, nor Mr. Juncker, nor for that matter Mr. Barnier, seem to understand that the terms of our negotiations, or the negotiations we should be having, are set out quite clearly in Article 50 of the Treaty on European Union, which says quite clearly that these negotiations on our terms of withdrawal should be set against the discussions on our future relationship with the European Union. Now, given that the European Union adopts such a legalistic approach to all matters, one might have thought that they would have noticed that they themselves are in breach of the terms of Article 50. So it is a crucial point. I believe that the United Kingdom government, through Theresa May in her speech in Florence a few days ago, set out a very reasonable position. Made it clear that we were not averse to paying some money to the European Union, making it clear that what we sought was a free trade agreement of the kind that the EU has already struck, for example, with Canada. But I think that the difficulty that we have as the United Kingdom is that we do not understand what motivates the European Union. And I think that one can do no better than look at the speech delivered by Monsieur Emmanuel Macron, the new president of France, at the Sorbonne just a few days ago, in which he set out his ambitions for Europe and the trajectory that he proposed to take, in which he saw a future for a new European army, a new European civil defense force, a new European border force. And he ended by saying that he very much hoped that at the next Olympic Games to be held in Paris in 2024, the victorious European athletes would take to the podium to the strains of Ode to Joy. Well, that speaks volumes not only about Monsieur Macron's political ambitions, but also about his lack of understanding that there won't be that many European athletes winning gold medals, because most of the athletes on the podium will be going there to the strains of God Save the Queen. Nevertheless, a word of warning. I believe that the time has now come where the British government has to understand and to recognise publicly that it may well be that we do not strike an agreement with the European Union through no fault of our own. We've made a broad and generous offer, but through the fact that we have on the European side a dogmatic adherence to a deepening and a widening and a broadening of the European project. And what they seek from these negotiations is not a free trade agreement, but an arrangement whereby others may be deterred from leaving the European Union. So I believe that we have to make our position very clear. I think that the British government has to publish its position paper showing what we will do if no deal is struck. I think that we have to make it public very soon, certainly after the European Council this month. And furthermore, we have to make it very clear to the negotiators on the EU side that if we don't see any progress towards that free trade agreement, then we will take it that they are not interested in a deal, and we will simply proceed to trade with them as we do with the rest of the world on WTO terms. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us celebrate what we have achieved so far. But let us make sure that in the months ahead, the British government makes it clear to the European Union that we are not prepared to wait indefinitely, that we want a good relationship with the EU, but at the same time, we intend to safeguard the interests of this great country, and that if necessary, as Churchill once said, very well then, alone. Thank you very much.